I remember the cloud chamber and being able to see the...
wow, he brought in a cloud chamber?
Well, he actually made one with us together. And you could I just remember seeing this like, a line, that was formed by whatever it was. I didn't work too well there. You could see this thing in the fall. Frau Schaefer.
Frau Schaefer, yes.
She was hot.
When you were in 9th grade?
Yep.
Now probably. But, well, a bumpy bus ride was sufficient in 9th grade.
Oh my God.
My dad lives with me and 2 dogs. Okay. Not gay. Okay. Yeah, actually, I'm glad to retire from law. There was a lot of pressure. Glad to get rid of it. So, read a couple newspapers a day. Take it easy. Decide what we want to do. Afternoon.
This is the first time I've been back in 40 years.
Really?
Yeah.
You got wives or kids or anything?
I've got a wife, got 2 kids, and 4 grandkids. I'm a registered nurse, and I run a nursing home. I actually live about 20 miles outside of Branson on Table Rock Way. A little cabin in the woods. I'm glad I came.
Me too.
I really am.
It's challenging. I mean, I was nervous and stuff. I mean, it's okay, but it's scary in a way.
It is. It is.
You do see through what the years have done. You see right through to the same thing you saw in high school.
Exactly.
It's scary.
Exactly.
It's like they're a caricature. You can see into the real simple line drawing of the person, regardless of what's against it.
That's a good analogy.
Hey, Robert.
Hey.
Bill Gates.
Hey. That's one you wouldn't know. Where's your name there?
No, it must have slipped off.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, here. It keeps slipping off of me.
Where do you live?
Not Cincinnati.
Oh.
Yeah.
You got wives or kids or anything?
My wife right here.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've got 4 kids. And I think of you every once in a while. Our days in physics.
Mr. Sipe, wonderful teacher.
And I remember you getting Mr. Sipe one time because we were doing things with capacitors. You took and you charged up one of those big ones and left it charged up on there on the table and zapped him or zapped somebody else.
I blocked that. He was great.
Well, you were up around Rochester for school, weren't you?
Yeah, I got sent up there for college.
Yeah.
My parents didn't like my girlfriend. They said you got to go to school at least 300 miles
weren't
away.
Weren't you going in for science or something at the time?
Graduation turned out to be a big problem, but I ended up sticking up there and got involved in the music business. I like to make a good hang gliding simulator. I took some hang gliding lessons and I was impressed with the fact of how difficult it is to learn anything during just several seconds of terror.
Well, like my son,
Rob, they want you to go dance Louie Louie.
Oh.
I got her way down low.
Or at least tell us what the words are.
I remember Jeff Gray.
Where's Jeff Gray?
He's in Virginia.
Oh, okay. Well,
Jeff Gray wrote out the words
enough.
to Louie Louie, and I put them in my pants, and my mom found them in the washer. Oh boy! And said, "What is this?"
Trouble.
I said, "Jeff Gray."
I'm a victim.
I'm a victim.
Yeah.
That wasn't a good week.
My kids have always been real pessimists about the future, and now Gardner is saying he's an optimist because of what's going on with technology. And he said we're gonna make it. He really believes that, which
it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
There's people that think nanotechnology will make bioweapons look like toys.
Well, I guess if you use them in that way, yeah, I guess it's how we use them.
And where are you living these days?
The Washington, D.C. area.
That's right. Now, my father remembers having you in the car sometime and you telling him about having recently, he says, oh, right over here I saw somebody bail out of a jet airplane, and the parachute came down and they landed right in the lawn right there. And I think you were eating a paper cup at the time.
That could be true. Remember you and Peter had the wire that went from the house.
I remember Peter and I ran the wire.
In the trees.
And we bought 100-foot spools of wire at Custom Electronics.
Yes, yes.
And we strung them, it was speaker cable, and we strung them through the trees. And we would just twist the ends together. But there was static when the wind would blow, so I decided these connections need to be soldered. So on one end, we plugged it into the wall, and I would put clip leads on the wire that I was soldering and solder it while I was in the tree. Oh my God!
I did not know that. Oh, that's not good. Oh, that's not good. Can you imagine if it had just? Oh well.
Oh man! Mike sells potato chips. Now Brad Williams remembers going to the Caverns, which I guess was Forest Park, to support and vote for the Null set in their Battle of the Bands. He was talking with John Ty about that. John really doesn't remember many of the other bands that were in competition. He thinks the Stumps were in there, and I guess it was shocking that they got disqualified or eliminated. John remembers that the Null set got 1,000 $1 bills for winning the Battle of the Bands. I guess there was a big movement at Oakwood High School to get out and vote for the Null set so they could win. It wasn't really judged on music quality, it was on votes. And I think most of Oakwood, I don't think I did, maybe I did go out there, but a big chunk of Oakwood went out, and it ends up that they won. It was in association with WING and Bob Holliday. Okay, let's go up Dixon. The Gillilands were down here on the end someplace with sand bees. Here was an apartment complex right next to Steve Metcalf's house, and we used to climb up the back stairway, I guess, and there's where Steve Metcalf lived. And that might have been the Gillilands, and on the bank, or it could have been there or there, and on the bank was the sand bees. And somebody, our fathers or maybe us, would hit them with tennis rackets. They would make mounds of sand in their nests. Oh, and then here's the boulevard. It seemed huge, but it's not really that big. There's Far Hills. There's no light here. This is 4 lanes. And there's no light. That's interesting. I'm crossing a 4-lane highway with no light. Continuing up Dixon, we should be getting to St. Paul's. Yep, there it is. Remember that. Peter Mitchell lived back here someplace. This should head down to the school. Somewhere down here was when I was substituting for Rick Schwartz with his paper out. It was actually back across from the church, so that's where the papers would be picked up. You'd load up your bicycle at 6 o'clock in the morning. Here's Harmon, and it's bigger. All that stuff was never there. That whole back section was never there. But the rest of it looks like maybe his original. Harmon School. Yeah. And there's the Wright brothers' house. Oh, that's not the Wright house. It's up here. What am I saying? It's up there, that's it. It is a mansion. Yep. So if we continue on and turn right, we'll probably go down to Mrs. Ty's house. This should be Ridgeway, I think, yeah. It is. This was a very steep hill. You were nuts if you went down here on a bicycle without having your brakes on. You could get up to fantastic speed.